Hello and welcome back everybody to episode 15 of 100%ing Gregtech New Horizons. We have a lot going on today relating to upgrading our circuits by being able to make them a lot cheaper, as well as being able to make HV circuits to get into the next tier. We're also going to be messing around a lot more with some Botania, adding in another Steam multi-block, as well as completing a bunch of the other random quests from the previous tiers. That being said, let's get into it. Okay, so this is for LV circuits. You're making LV circuit with the integrated logic circuit. Higher tier circuits always unlock a new line of circuits. Yeah, which is pretty crazy. Oh, okay, so tier 2 of the MV circuits, I can use the LV ones that I'm making now, the good circuit board, SMD resistors, diodes, fine gold wire, and silver bolts. It actually took me a while to figure out how the circuitries actually worked, and that you actually needed lower tier circuits to craft up the higher tiers until we could actually craft better circuit components to craft up the higher tier circuits directly. So yeah, these to make these, but you need integrated processors to make these. Processor assembly. Yeah, okay, so that is how it works. That to make that. 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 Dang. That's crazy. So before I get too carried away, we actually have to make the green sapphire lens first. And in order to do that, we need the MV lathe if we want to go with the plate recipe. Or we can actually just go with the LV lathe if we use the exquisite gem. Either way, we got our green sapphire lens, so we're going to toss in our ingredients for the random access memory wafers. Huh? 1 makes 32? I was genuinely in shock when I noticed how generous that recipe was compared to the ILC wafers. You won't catch me complaining because we have other things to worry about, like these circuit boards to craft our newer circuits. And to go along with those new circuit boards, I actually began to craft up some sodium persulfate, and we're going to use this in a chemical bath with tantalite to help get greater chances at receiving some tantalum dust, which is going to help us create a lot of those cheaper electrical components. And I also made the thermal centrifuge to help in the ore processing, just to help get that little bit of extra tantalum chance. There we go. Integrated circuits now complete as well. Sweet. We are going places. Oh my gosh. I can see the HV circuit right there. That's crazy. And it's almost as crazy as the next thing that I decided to do because of something that happened in one of my live streams. So I'm going to go ahead and let Streamblaze take over. Yes, because of a very generous donation. I know it was kind of a joke, but it was like, oh yeah, I'll donate this, and you toss away, what is it? We have to toss away 372 LV circuits, 24 MV circuits, and 24 HV circuits. So we're going to make an altar. It's going to be like almost like a mini nether with like pixel art of each of the circuits, and then we're going to toss them into lava in the name of Greg. We must sacrifice for Greg. And because it was such a crazy task, even with the cheaper circuits right now, this wasn't going to be something that I was able to do until a little bit later on after quite a few dozen more hours of gameplay. But moving on to better things, we actually crafted up our first set of the cheaper MV circuits. Dang. So they're going to start combining, and it's going to go to HV. Finally, the HV circuit. To make it, you need good integrated circuits, RAM, and integrated logic circuit and transistors. By the way, circuits get cheaper to make as you go along, but not till HV. HV circuits, advanced circuits. I got that, got that, got that. Easy, easy. And actually, that's not even that bad. Annealed copper bolts. Boom. There it is. We're gonna make our first HV circuit. There it is. Advanced circuits, baby. No way. I actually unlocked the HV tier tab. Your first haul, as usual. Dang. Ew. Polyethylene sheets to make them now. Or just molten polyethylene, which I mean is the same difference, so whatever. And gold cables, yeah. I see you're still running on creosote. What's new? So yeah, you haven't been here in a while. I'll give you a rundown. We did actually unlock the HV tab. We made our first HV circuits, which is pretty cool. Because you could tell we made integrated circuits, all that other weird crazy stuff. I've kind of started going through and actually making this area look nicer. I got a little kitchen for making some new foods. Just trying out new stuff to get myself extra hearts. I still have to try and clean up the machines a little bit here. I mean, it kind of looks a little bit nicer, but I still need to fill in the rest of them. Add in a couple of more of the steam multi-blocks. Figure out what to do decorating this wall. I also changed the farms, so this is actually like full 2 levels. I need to go through and do that to the other side, so that way we can use all the wood for more pyrolos ovens eventually, but they both go and input into the same room, which they have this chest right here, all the logs go into, and then obviously all the extra byproducts, which ain't too bad. I'm still kind of manually going through and filling up my pyrolos oven here, but we've been fine for a long time. So this is still obviously just all my LV production, just to get us through for now. Nothing too crazy is going on in the MV room. We still have our pyrolos oven. Got 1.2 million benzene. Producing some random stuff in the EBF. We got some tantalum going for our circuits, our wires, all that great stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much all of that. Nothing else too crazy's really happened. So we're trying to go through and complete all of the Steam and LV quests as well. So before we get into any of those quests, I'm actually going to go ahead and build the Steam separator, which is basically just a multi-block centrifuge. And with that, our steam separator is complete. Getting about 8 dust completed in about 50 something seconds, at least for the redstone here. I'd assume mostly everything else is going to be pretty similar. Not too bad compared to the single blocks. For the remainder of this video, I'm going to continue to work on some of the random quests from the previous tiers. And we're actually going to be upgrading some of our tools to the electric versions using mana steel, so that way they last a very long time. And to get mana steel, we're going to have to mess with Botania some more. So I didn't really get to do any of the LV quests, but we still finished up the Steam Age. I mean, that's amazing. We could probably get ourselves the Electroline backpack as well. Yeah, see, small battery hulls, Electroline. I don't even know how you charge these. Electroline generator. Oh, the jetpack. You need a diamond chest plate for that. That's kind of funny. But we also started making a bunch more stainless steel, which I do need to reset up my chrome machine with the ruby juice and all that. But we are doing fantastic. So once we actually want to open up into HV, I think we're gonna go pretty far, pretty fast, and I'm quite happy with that. But yeah, like I was saying before, I'm gonna go ahead here and actually set up my ruby juice machine right away, so that way we don't actually end up running out of stainless steel sooner than we want. There it is. Now that we got the ruby juice / dust line working, I think it's time to go ahead and actually make the Electro-Teen jetpack. Although, sadly, I did realize later on that it wasn't really worth the investment, but it's still kind of cool anyways. An Electroline battery. Jetpack. Look at that. We got our first jetpack of the playthrough, which is awesome. So refill your jetpack. Oh no. Electro-Teen, I keep saying Electroline. Electro-Teen generator, a charging bench. Ugh, great. You now have an empty jetpack. You need 25 Electro-Teen dust to completely fill it. Let's craft an Electro-Teen generator and a charging bench to use the power of Electro-Teen. You'll very quickly discover that while it is fast and cheap, it's empty in the blink of an eye. Despite this, it is useful in the combination with the hang glider to get into the air and get away from hairy situations. Steel. More batteries. You gotta be kidding me. More batteries again. So 4 more batteries. Everything else really isn't that bad. Copper coil. Draw plate. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Block of diamond panels. Block of iron posts. Ew. Alright, Electroline generator. Just set that there for now. Boink. Dang. So what is this? Why is there a double battery? And what's that? Oh. So maybe this is enough to charge 1 battery. And then obviously you would need this much filled up to fill up like 2 batteries. Quest? Wait, the quest is already complete, so never mind. Hey, there's a charging bench, so this will keep going. That's kind of weird. I've never used Electroline, but it looks pretty cool. So now, oh, we could put a bunch of stuff in here. Okay, let that kind of go for a little while. So while the jetpack charges up for a little bit, we're going to go ahead and make some thaumium ingots. That way we can actually make the mana steel a little bit cheaper rather than using just basic steel ingots. Well, I didn't want to throw all that in. Whatever. Wow, that's going to be a huge mess in there now. Alright, jetpack. Where are you at? You charged yet? You are. Dang, just like that, I already used up that much. Oof. That's rough. Yeah, almost as rough as it was trying to get some of these magical mushrooms from the Twilight Forest, so that way we could continue with Botania. It was a dungeon spawner or something. Oh, ooh, who's sprinting? Okay, no, 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 no. I don't like that. Nope. Ow! Ow! Ooh! Ooh! Okay, no, 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 no. That hurts really bad. I need to heal. Okay, thank goodness for no fire damage. Okay, this place is being brutal to me right now. Hey, how to get sodium. Nice. See, that's good. I want ectoplasm. Oh my goodness. Okay, I need to get out. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. Bricks, 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 something. It's done. It's over with. A fire. Why? That's so dumb. Oh my gosh. A baby fire zombie. I only had like 5 business days to react and I still didn't save myself. Oh well, at least I got my stuff back once again. Beautiful. Magical flowers. Old documents speak of magical flowers, but these seem to be extinct in the wild. You did notice that the mushrooms you've seen in deep caves share a lot of the properties with these purported flowers. With the invention of alchemy, you think you can create these flowers by steeping the spores of a mushroom in the essence of the surface plants. Ah. Mystical orange flowers. That's pretty cool. Dermatological overgrowth. This happens when you smoke weed. Oh no. I can only imagine what that one has to do with. That's kind of funny. Yes, that is the one. Flower duplication. So these flowers have proven very hard to grow in the wild and don't take well to being broken. Fortunately, your ventures into thaumaturgy have resulted in a new botanical recipe. Now you can split off a branch, dip it in this concoction, and it will create roots once more. So I'm going to go ahead here and craft up one of the magical flowers, and then also duplicate some of the other ones that we have later on. Hey, Sky of Beginning. Pick up a mystical flower from the world. So magical. Okay, so you can only... I see. You can only turn it into one. Are you serious? I just broke that and got nothing. So now that I have some of the specific flower petals that I wanted, I'm going to actually be able to create some mana generating flowers. One specifically we're going to start out with is the Daybloom, and then later on we're going to get into something even crazier called the Endo Flame. So to use the power of magical flowers, you must understand how to generate and manipulate mana. This ethereal bluish substance is produced by generating flowers. When the requirements are met, mana is not easily quantified, so you will have to do a lot of estimating if you want to use it efficiently. Once you have chosen which flower you want to use to generate mana, you must plant it near a mana spreader. When the flower's conditions are fulfilled, it will begin to produce mana and store it in the internal buffer of the nearest mana spreader. The mana spreader itself will automatically emit any mana it contains, provided it's aimed at a valid destination, such as a mana pool. 1, 2, 1, 1, goldenrod, and a seed. There it is, we got a Daybloom flower. And we get an extra Daybloom from it, and some gardener coins. So we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So the Daybloom, it is extremely simple generating flower. All you have to do is place it down, and it'll produce mana for free during the day. Downside of this arrangement is that Dayblooms die after only an hour. Make one, and I'll give you another. See, it's funny, I don't even know if they're producing anything right now. I can make some more. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. Boom. Boom. Come on, produce me some mana. 16 mana seal ingots. If you've never used Botania before, you may be wondering about the purpose of all this effort. This isn't a simple question to answer, but one thing you can do that's quite useful right now is making yourself some mana steel. Among its many uses, mana steel has one of the best, if not simply the best, durabilities of materials available at LV. So it's perfect for all of your crafting tools. Yeah, perfect for all of your crafting tools. If you have a particular dislike of Tinker's construct, mana steel is a great material to make a Gregtech pickaxe out of too. So it says it cannot craft. I wonder if I right click it eventually, that's what it wants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess Might as well just like mass produce these while I can. Okay, so I can make 1 ingot. 1 ingot of mana steel back. That's rough. Wow. 1 of 16. Hey, 4 mana powder. Magic blue dust. The Endo Flame burns combustible materials in order to produce mana. It efficiently consumes fuels with a burn time of up to 64,000 per item, equivalent to 4 blocks of coal. Any burn time beyond this will be wasted, and endoflames don't die like passive flowers do, and are simple to use, so it's a good idea to make several of them. Pretty sure I got this back too. There's that. I did get this all back. Hey, we got an endoflame. Let's put it here. Oh, hello. Okay, that's how you do it. Now that I got the endo flames figured out, I made 2 more of them, and we're actually producing quite a bit of mana, so we're able to craft up the mana steel ingots relatively quickly. Mana pool's almost full. That's good. 1 more ingot. We'd have been waiting forever. And I'm surprised these aren't dead yet. I thought they only lasted an hour. But they've been... Unless it's a real life hour that they die. There it is. 16 mana steel. And now that we have all of this mana steel, I can actually upgrade the mana pool so that way we can store a lot more. Hey ho, mana pool. Upgrading your mana pool. Alright, let's just dump in normal steel. That's fine. Hey, I got a trophy. And now the thing I've been the most excited for, time to make the electronic tools. There we go. Now that we have them all crafted, all that's left is to charge them up. But I also think that's going to wrap things up for today. I think we made some insanely good progress, and I want to say thank you very much everybody who watched. I do greatly appreciate it. If you did enjoy it, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, it would help out very much. As well, if you are new to the channel, if you wouldn't mind helping us reach the goal of 10,000 subscribers, I greatly appreciate it. And also a big shout out and a huge thank you once again to all of the amazing channel members for all of your amazing support. Thank you very much everyone. We'll see you all next time. Blaze out.